Although there are plenty of murder mystery storylines in the TV and film industries, the genre needs to be revitalized badly. Just this year, A Haunting in Venice almost doubled its budget at the box office, and it seems like a different production company approves a new miniseries based on a well-known suspense novel every week. The audience and the genre are changing, but the people who are making a lot of these projects don't really know what makes these projects interesting. If there's nothing for murder mystery fans to get their teeth into along the road, they won't be content with an occasional plot twist. One example of a television program that gives us a lot to think about at first before boring us to tears is A Murder at the End of the World. In the first scene of the episode, Emma Corrin's character Darby Hart is shown wearing a hoodie and headphones as she heads to a book event to read a passage from her new book, The Silver Doe, a real crime memoir reminiscent to I'll Be Gone in the Dark. She tells the audience that she's starting from the end, even though it's against the rules, as she stops Jim Morrison's audible yelps from the end, which are blaring from her iPod. At the conclusion of one story and the start of another, the premiere, Home Fatal, introduces viewers to the eerie world of Darby Hart, a teenage coroner, amateur detective, hacker extraordinaire, best-selling author, and the Gen Z Sherlock. The dual storyline of the show, which focuses on Darby's past and present, lets the tedium of the premiere get in the way of solving the real mystery. In a technical sense, the past story ends here, and the present story begins. Furthermore, Darby's relationship with her partner in the investigation, Bill, ended in the present. We rewind to Bill's beat-up vehicle, and the two of them driving toward their last mystery together as Darby starts to read. Recently, Darby and Bill connected on Detective Reddit and teamed up to find Jane Does, the anonymous female murder victims who were all discovered to be wearing silver jewelry, hence the moniker The Silver Doe. They quarrel in their hotel room, since this is more than Bill had bargained for, but the show really wants to draw things out. Even though the show is only 5 minutes in, they swiftly make up off-screen and put Annie Lennox on Darby's iPod, harmonizing in a typical scene. When the two get to a house in a typical suburban housing complex, Darby uses a skill she learned from the most well-known female hacker in the world, Lee Anderson, Britt Marling, to hack the automatic garage door. Anderson was chased into hiding after someone doxed her. After entering the house, they use a sledgehammer and concrete saw to pound on the concrete basement floor, but they are unable to find anything. When Darby sees a makeshift wooden stairway, she blasts it up to reveal the body they were searching for underground. Based on a silver ring on the skeleton's finger, our hero decryptively reveals that the killer started with his wife. She and Bill begin reciting the names of the victims as an enigmatic figure opens the cellar door. After she completes her reading, Andy Ronson, Clive Owen, the king of tech, contacts her regarding an elite retreat for 9 people. Darby accepts the opportunity after exchanging some words with the AI helper Ray, Edoardo Ballerini, who informs her that watching The Simpsons took away his breath. She boards a private jet for Iceland, where Ronson convenes the most influential intellectuals on the planet for a weekly retreat aimed at finding solutions to climate change. The world's end is still a mystery to them. Darby greets the other passengers on the aircraft. Darby's work is being read by director Martin Jermaine Fowler, smart city builder Lou May, and astronaut Sam Cruz. The others are a collection of tech geeks and venture capitalists boasting about their elaborate fakes. After the aircraft lands in Iceland, Darby and the other visitors are driven to an opulent hotel that is exclusively mentioned in in-flight publications. But Darby is in high spirits. Before dinner, she gets ready to mingle with the elite by re-dyeing her hair. Bill sits down at the table at that point. Ronson shows in and explains how they're come to address climate change before Darby has a chance to respond. Additionally, he claims that only 5 of the attendees aren't his own. Lee Anderson, his wife, invited the other 4. After Darby confronts Bill later that evening, the two go for a stroll. They discuss Bill, referred to as Fangs in the art world, and his accomplishments in the field. His work, Artificial Insanity, feels a step up from Banksy's Dismaland. There's no shortage of groans in this play. Despite their flirting and hinting at a reunion, the two go in alone. Darby changes her mind later and knocks on Bill's door. She turns to face his window after hearing battling and moaning from the other side of the room. Her eyes meet Bill's demise. We finally have a murder, and it only took 70 minutes. Nevertheless, this is a wonderfully watchable show. The aesthetic is similar to that of Mike Flanagan's Netflix series, which include desaturated, low-light shooting and settings with crisp, Nordic-style designs. These tones were created by algorithms to resemble a neutral good, such as a Starbucks with spotless restrooms, and a strong Wi-Fi signal. These things are positive, or at least passable conditions, extremely good things. Perhaps something will be done about it all in episode 2. In light of this, let's begin. The end of the world becomes a little more exciting now that Bill is gone and Darby has a riddle to solve. Darby, putting on her best Lisbeth Salander impression, investigates a snowblind mystery as her doubts about Bill's death's circumstances develop. Although Darby believes there may be foul play, the hotel's medical staff and security officers come on the scene, take her to her room, and give her some medicines that Darby can easily consume. Why would she take these drugs when she seems to be worried about this whole ensemble? Who knows? Nitpicking is easy because the program is full of these kinds of small, structurally required lazy moments. Nevertheless, once she faints, we get to see another flashback. Since she was a little kid, Darby has accompanied her father, Neil Huff, to crime scenes, and she has developed into a renowned teenage coroner. But Darby's main problem is that she doesn't stick to the facts. She has no comprehension of the criminal psyche. Instead, she concentrates on specifics from the victim's private life, such as the silver earrings she is meant to leave as proof. This brings her online, where she peruses Reddit in search of any information regarding corpses wearing earrings. She meets Bill in this way, and he DMs her to ask her questions about true crime. Darby informs him that since children don't wear earrings like these, Jane Doe must be an older adult based on the earrings. Presently, Andy Ronson informs the other attendees of Bill's death. It was an overdose, he claims. Darby isn't sure. By blocking a toilet, she diverts attention, and if the concierge doesn't get up from his desk and use the restroom, she threatens him with a feces-filled function. By using his computer covertly, Darby transforms her room key into a skeleton key that opens Bill's door. Upon entering his room, she discovers Bill's lifeless body lying in front of the open window, exposed to the sun and visible to all the other guests, covered in plastic. Darby uses her sympathetic reasoning skills to deduce that Bill shot himself in the wrong arm and that the syringe is fingerprint-free. According to statistics, heroin addicts are statistically unlikely to inject with their non-dominant hand, and they are much less likely to wear gloves, according to Ray. Amazing details from Ray. Darby hides in the bathroom when she hears Lee enter when she is in Bill's room. We find out that Lee was also friends with Bill. Bill dating the hero of his ex-girlfriend is quite typical of him. Subsequently, as Mark is delivering his dull lecture on artificial intelligence-generated films, which he almost managed to spare us, Darby confesses that she spotted Lee in Bill's room and is curious about the situation. Darby is directed by Lee to locate the password and SAS ID for the hotel's smart light bulbs. Another flashback shows Darby the moments just before she actually met Bill. She investigates several hints that lead her to the nearby train tracks' flickering lighting, which a stupid local believes must be haunted. No, the flickering lights are the result of Bill's genius. This makes Darby the modern-day one to take the SAS ID off a smart light bulb. Then she breaks into Bill's door camera and sees a guest wearing a mask in the video. A masked person entered Bill's room. After 2 episodes, it seems like this show would have worked much better as a 2-hour film in which we could have made some minor plot advancements. Instead, we're stranded in this hotel full of the brightest minds of the planet, who believe that tech millionaires will use AI helpers to preserve the environment. This show needs some realism and tangible consequences, or the next 5 episodes will drag on forever.